I'm not like pregnant or anything. Although I haven't gotten my period.
Whoa, hey, look, I'm buying a house and I just bought a house and renovating. That's me having a baby.
That is a baby.
You can't be pulling that shit right now.
I don't think I'm pregnant, but I also am like, what if like my body's changing? Wouldn't that be crazy?
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know how early that starts.
I'm already starting. I think
you?
my hematologist told me he thinks that I'm already starting pre-menopause.
Isn't that amazing?
And I'm 43.
I know, but like everything's annoying me.
Yeah.
It could be PMS. Like if I actually get my period, I'd be like, because last month, nobody needs to hear this, but I'll tell you anyway. Last month, it was like 10 days. And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh,
and then this month, it's like late. But when I was younger, because I had endometriosis and I wasn't on the pill, and now I'm off the pill again, my period would skip a few months and then I would get really sick when it came. So I'm kind of thinking maybe it might be that. So I might get really sick, but
it could be a little just a little.
Yeah, right? I don't know. We'll see. I'll keep
it
you
started
posted.
young in my family. So
I'm late to everything though. I didn't even start till I was 16.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I know. Because I was so skinny and like a cheerleader and a gymnast and like all these things.
So was I.
I know.
Do you know that I got my period? I got my period the night that I was taking my cheerleading photos for the yearbook in middle school. The first time.
Oh.
I know. And my friend,
period stories.
I know. I just told her a period story. That's why it's funny. I know. I started my period, and what's crazy is my mom, I think, was working, and my best friend's mom picked me up from the school.
Yeah.
And I went back to her house to wait for my mom to pick me up after my picture. So I had my cheerleading uniform on, and I told her, and she was a school teacher. So I told her. I was like, I started my period, I think, because I went to the bathroom because I felt like a little wet, And I was and I was crampy. I was like, what is going on? Like, I didn't know what that was. And I went to the bathroom at her house and there was blood in my bloomers. You wore those little.
Yeah.
And they were like yellow bloomers.
Oh,
and
what were your school colors?
We were the Eastwood Eagles. They were like baby blue and yellow, kind of like UCLA, like gold. We were
Yeah.
Anyway, so she taught me how to use a tampon.
On your first period?
Oh, yeah. I went straight in. I wasn't messing around.
No shit.
She showed me pads or tampons, and I was like, well, I don't want to wear it. That's gross.
You
a pad?
can't wear with your cheerleading outfit, yeah.
Well, yeah,
like
but I didn't want to,
diaper.
sit in it. Yeah, so I've never been a pad girl. I'm like a nighttime pad girl just to give my giner a rest.
Yeah.
But no, I'm like,
you have to.
Tampons all the way.
Yeah.
I don't do pads. Because every time I walk around, it's like, quick. It's like wearing a diaper.
Yeah.
Like if I can hear myself walk.
Yeah.
No. So can they. Yeah. So can everybody around me. Well, now you got a little bit of Mel and Brooke. If that wasn't enough for you,
right?
Get ready for this segment.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Get ready for
a little bit of Mel Brooke. Ooh.
I think Mel Robbins said it too, where it's like you put in a little bit of time each day.
Yeah.
And then you will see results if you put in the work each day. So I'm trying not to be like, okay, I worked out 3 days this week. Am I skinny yet?
Right. That's hard.
Instead, like, just keep doing it and know that I will.
Yeah.
I'll see results and I'll make good habits. So I think, as we get older, it's more about making sure that our muscles are strong. So as we get older, we can get out of that chair and we can.
I am telling you what, and I might start the episode at this little point before this. But I will tell you what, I knelt down the other day and I could not get up. My knees are so fucking weak. I've hurt both of my knees at different points in my life. One was when I was really young, and one was when I was older.
Your kidney?
Not my kidney.
No, your kidney.
Oh, look at you. No. No, but I could not get up, and I had a counter near me, so I was able to pull myself up, but I was like, fuck, I gotta work on my knee, I wasn't like, what
What were you doing? Were you trying to do the percolator? Were you dropping it like it's hot? What the hell were you doing?
I kneeled down to pick something up, Brooke. I have children, like littles, who drop toys and Legos and bullshit. And so I knelt down to get something, and I was like, oh, shit. I was on both knees.
Wait, you were on your knee? Like on...
I was on both knees and then put one knee up to get up, and it wasn't strong enough to pull me up. Yeah, I didn't mean to make it sound like I was on my knees.
Yeah, you were.
Tuesday.
I can say that, I used to be able to drop it like it's hot, and especially in the club, like percolate, like boop, 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 and really get down and like where you're down and it's time for the percolate, and you're down there and your knee, and then like come up real quick and so I recently, it's interesting how your body remembers things, but it doesn't execute it the same way anymore.
Yeah.
So, Kingston and I did a TikTok. My youngest son, who's 10, he's really into like doing the dances and whatever. And if you go to our Mom's Art 2 TikTok, you'll see it. But
it's so good.
We did Getting Sturdy or whatever. It was like this trend. And so he taught me the dance, and we did the dance. And at one point, you have to actually like go down. And I went to do that. And same thing, like I couldn't get up. Like, so basically I couldn't go down as low as I'm supposed to. So I did like the old mommy version while he's down there and like using those young knees, those kid knees. And it's funny. So yeah, I get it.
I'm writing down our time. So
it just doesn't work. Our knees don't work the same way as they used to.
They don't. And I understand that my body is, but So Melissa, I have something that I want to tell you about with Melissa, by the way,
friend.
Our nurse. Yes. Our nurse. But first, I think, and this sounds like I'm being weird, but I feel like because my legs are so long.
Sounds like you're being weird? Bitch, you're weird.
I feel like because my legs are so long that my knees have a harder time because of like torque or something scientific.
Like the hinge?
The hinge has a harder time going from my feet to my butt. You do have long shins.
I
do. And I feel like there's not enough strength in that. It used to have really strong legs, and I do have strong legs, but my knee is like the not vortex. What is that
Your
called?
knee has baby faces on them.
That is true. And do you know what they're doing? They're sagging, Brooke. I need to take a picture.
It's like the Benjamin Button baby. Is that what it's turning into?
100%. Shar-Pei babies on my knees because my legs are starting to get like wrinkly. I see that they're starting to get wrinkly.
Yeah, they're not, but it's fine.
But they probably are. And I looked at them the other day and I was like, I need to take a picture for Brooke because these are like sad Shar-Pei knees.
You know those babies, bless their heart, that much like kind of like Benjamin Button, but that are
just ugly
old.
Babies.
No, but they look like old people.
Yeah.
You know what
babies.
I mean? There's those too, yeah.
Oh, that's true. There's
there's like a syndrome.
There's
yeah. I mean, those are your knees now.
Yeah. But I feel like the hinge, it's putting a lot of pressure there. So I need to figure out, and I want to ask Melissa, how do I just work out my knees?
Oh, yeah. The strength.
Because if I need to strengthen my knees up.
Well, it's also it might not just be the knee. It's the knee is connected to. So that would
like
be
the rest of my body that sucks and is
your
flabby.
thighs and just the muscles. I mean, as we get older, we lose our muscle tone. It's interesting because I may wear the same size pant, but
you only wear one pant,
just a pant.
I wear a pant,
but what it looks like underneath isn't the same. Like I used to just have a muscular physique.
Right.
And now it's like I don't know, a jelly roll.
It's more of where our bodies are sitting in our clothes now instead of our clothes
hanging off of our bodies.
Yeah.
I figured that out going to Zara to look for clothes for Coachella, a pair of jeans. I just wanted those 90s jeans are in style, which is totally my vibe, where they're a little baggy and they're like mid-waist and they have holes in them, and I'm like, yes. And I tried it on, and it's like I have this idea of what I want the outfit to look like, and then I put the clothes on, and my body's like, no, bitch.
Yeah.
No, sorry. You're 5 foot and stocky and you have jelly rolls for days. So
what did you get?
Well, I did buy those pants. It doesn't.
I'm not giving up on that shit.
Yeah, because they're really comfortable. Because they're kind of baggy but they're super cute. They'll be good for summer.
Yeah.
But I'm not wearing them tomorrow. I'm wearing a different pair to Coachella.
What are you going to wear to Coachella? Can you tell people?
I'm not one of those that's like, oh my God, I've got my, what is it?
Flower dress. And...
Not even now it's they wear like the see-through, like long jacket that's like see-through with like suns and moons and glitter. And then everything's black underneath, like a black leotard. And then they wear like combat boots and like a bikini top and then they have all of this like metal, and it's like it's almost like a mix of Burning Man and Woodstock. You know what I mean? It's like
that actually sounds like maybe I would like that.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
You need to send me a picture. Yeah.
I'm not doing all of that. I want to be comfortable. Like I sometimes I look at some of the people because I've gone to Coachella before, and I'm like, how are you walking around all day like that? Your feet hurt. First of all.
No.
And you can't bring blankets and shit. And look, we have VIP because that's just how we roll. So we'll actually have seating. I'm not going to Coachella without VIP.
Yeah, I understand.
Because
it's a lot.
No, you're not waiting. I'm not waiting in line for a nasty ass toilet. I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm not waiting in line for beers. Yeah.
Where like you're only allowed to drink in that one little area.
Yeah, no fuck that. No. VIP, the bathroom situation is like
nasty.
It's just worth it. Anyway, but like you're sitting on the grass and you're half crocked. How are you sitting there? You've got on these white pants. What are you doing? Like this isn't, you've got cowboy boots on and you're walking around all day in the desert. Like, I don't fucking think so. I've got on a pair of tennis shoes. Before I've worn like my favorite, like most comfortable sandals. I've done that, but then my feet were dirty and I can't stand that shit.
Yeah.
By the end of the day, no. I'm wearing my Adidas All-Stars. I'm wearing a cute pair of like jeans that are high-waisted, that are tight. And I have this like long sleeve baby blue. It's kind of thin.
Yeah.
It's a really thin material because it's going to be like 81 during the high. But at night, it's going to be like 50 something. So best believe I'm bringing my Keith Haring green sweatshirt. It's going to be in my backpack.
Yeah.
And I'll have that bitch on. I'm not even, and I've got my little leopard backpack. I'm not even trying to no, I'm about to be comfortable. I'm going to enjoy myself.
I think we reach a certain age where we're like, yes, I still want to look good.
Cute. I'm going to look
these
cute.
clothes. Yeah. But honestly, I can't. Yeah. No. I can't do that anymore. I even I dress comfortably most of the time. I'm very sporty spice in that way.
You are.
And even when I try to dress up, I'm still fucking sporty spice and I don't know how to do things. But yeah, I feel like if I went to the desert, and that's the only thing that I have a problem with, like the LA and desert weather, is that switch.
Oh,
I like that it's cool at night sometimes.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'm like, oh, it's cool tonight. It feels so good. And then sometimes I'm like, why can't I just be in my bathing suit day and night and not give a shit? Like I don't like to have to put on or bring extra clothes.
Yeah, it's funny. I was looking at kind of, I like to get inspiration at least, see like what's out there. I'll like use my style, but I'll still kind of see what's out there. And I did look, and one of the top, and I didn't even know this was a thing, one of the top fashions that were actually searched for Coachella was something called cottage core fashion. Have you heard of cottage core?
No.
Cottage core. It's kind of like a mix of boho and like a vintage.
Is that the remember my new style that I was coming up with last year?
It's not a steampunk.
Oh.
It's not that, but it's like it is those like Amish dresses kind of.
What they're selling at Target?
Yes, cottage core. No, that's what it's called. And folks that was like one of the number one most searched.
You know what that should be called?
For Coachella.
Fucking cult core.
Cult core.
Because those are cult members that wear those outfits. Mennonites aren't a cult, and Amish isn't a cult. But like, come on. The girls that.
But some of them are like the more trendier people are, they're obviously pairing them with things that aren't as cultish.
Culty.
Yeah. It's, but it is still, it's like, overalls with like sunflowers on it, or a bucket hat with mushrooms, or like just a floral big kind of dress. That's kind of
see, you know what, Brooke? We're talking about us sagging and hanging down in our clothes. Maybe we should lean into the
cottage core cult fashion,
because we can just live inside of that flowy moo and we'll look good.
Anybody
like
fan?
What?
I was gonna say, Amy Sedaris, her At Home with Amy Sedaris. Remember, lady who lives in the woods.
Yes.
That it's kind of that kind of clothing.
I'm not ready for a moo, but I will tell you what. I do feel like when I wear bigger clothing, I look fatter. Like there's some girls that can wear bigger clothing and they're like wafy inside, and you can tell that there's a lot of space. I feel like my stomach would still touch the front and my butt would still touch the back. And so periodically as I moved or got drunk and couldn't hold my stomach in anymore, you would see my belly button hole.
That's what I was talking about with those pants. I had this whole idea. I'm like, to like hang off my hips and all. I could even wear like a big, like the 90s look, like from when I was in high school, like the big band shirt that's oversized with the baggy jeans and tennis shoes, and
you look like a square.
Oh my God, no! It was just like like you said, everything was touching. I just looked fat. I was like, no, I need my skinny, tight, high-waisted jeans so you can see my figure.
I actually have a figure under here,
right? But that my pants kind of, because I'm squishy now, so the tight pant kind of makes the shape of my body.
Yeah. We need help now. We need our clothes to help us at this point.
No, exactly. That's why everyone's like, oh no, girl, you look good. I'm like, in this, but like take it off and let's have another conversation.
It's all like blah, 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 blah.
But it's fine. I love my body. No body shaming here.
Nope.
Let me drink my wine and eat my chocolates.
I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about this new thing that we found. It is called Moonlight. The magic of Moonlight is simple. It's the experience of reading together with a projection on the wall. Moonlight bridges the gap between traditional and digital books. There are playful projections, vivid sound effects, and read-along features make this multi-sensory storytime a delight. Moonlight is here to help you create imagination-filled, interactive bedtimes for your whole family and make storytime magical again. Use the code Moonlight10 with our link to get an extra 10% off your purchase. It's very cool. All right, so I do want to tell you what Melissa said, because I think it's important. So last week, we always have time. Last week, was it you that said to put Vaseline? No, Stephanie Taylor said to put Vaseline on our feet.
I actually thought about you this week because.
Did you?
Because speaking of Vaseline on the feet, do you remember back in the day, back in the day?
Nope.
When I told you that, it was during quarantine because you couldn't go get pedicures and stuff. And I had finally taken polish off my toes. And I was like, oh my God, my toenails are yellow because they've been. So I read and found out that putting Vaseline, that basically your toenail, because it's skin, needed nourishment and moisture.
Yes, girl.
So I put Vaseline on my toes, and then we wrote that into our script. So
yeah, because you couldn't walk
because they
in
were like
sandals anymore.
Yeah,
because you just sloshed around.
But I thought about you because last week I haven't been getting a pedicure. I wanted to let my toenails, because I finally took the polish off and they were yellow again.
Breathe.
And I was like, gross, like just on the ends. Like, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to grow it out. And I put the Vaseline on my toes, and I kept thinking, I got to take a picture and send it to Mel. And then of course I never did.
You do have to take a picture.
But I thought about you because of that. So
you have to think about me a little bit more.
I think about you often. I just don't share it with you.
I know. I do too. Okay, so it's not Vaseline on your toes or your feet because Melissa's not a fucking crazy person.
She's saying no?
No, it's fine. No. It's Vicks. That's what Stephanie said. Was
weird.
Vicks
That's
on our
weird. I love Stephanie. Stop.
Okay. I know. But so she said it on the show, and we were like, what? Why would you put Bibirobe, right? On our Bibirobe on our feet. And so Melissa wrote me on Sunday after she watched the episode on YouTube. She said you put Vicks on your feet when you have a cough.
Why?
It's coming from a nurse. I don't know. I didn't ask why.
Won't your
feet
feel cold?
Maybe that's the point. I don't know. I don't know things medical. But that's why we have staff, Brooke. That's why we have
I may stick to our petroleum jelly.
Listen, jelly. Well, that's also the petroleum jelly, I think, for the toenails is factual.
Yeah, but also just to keep your feet soft. If you put you rub some Vaseline all over your feet and put a sock on and go to bed, you wake up the next day and them feet are soft. They are.
Yeah. I believe you.
You've never done that?
Listen, look at my knees. My knees.
Whatever
and my hands
happened
are
to your Vaseline
on a regular basis.
project?
I'll show you. It's actually doing pretty good. My little dry spot on my knee, like it's never going away. That's one of the knees.
Well, Melanie decided that she was going to have an experiment basically and use Vaseline, basically slather it on all of her dry parts.
All my dry parts, mostly vaginal.
She's premenopausal. Who knows?
No, who knows, right? Who knows?
Anyway, and you were going to do it for a certain amount of time and get back to us, whatever happened.
And I forgot to get back to you, but it's also not been short season because it's fucking 40
and I'm
degrees
about tired of it.
California. All right. We had this really pretty weekend of beautifulness, and then it was like, oh, it's going to be, this is LA, and it's beautiful, and that's why you moved here. And then it fucking crashed down on us, and now it better, I think this weekend is going to be nice again, but I'm like, that is a fact is seasonal. This is my medical advice to people. Is seasonal 100%. Depression. That is a real fucking thing. I had Googled it a couple of weeks ago when it just wouldn't get over like 45 degrees and it was like 34 in the morning, and I was like, it'd either better snow or I'm getting the fuck out of here. Like I can't fucking anger in my entire body, and so I want to leave. I want to move. I want to sell my beautiful home that I love. That I would never I'm like I gotta go. And Charlie's like, let's just wait before we make a decision that we're gonna sell our house.
At least when you're here's my thing. At least when you're cold, you can warm up.
No.
Yeah, you can put.
I cannot. Even in my house,
but you can put on like wool socks and sweat outfits and a jacket and like sit under a blanket. Like you can do that.
But I have a really weird anatomy, and let me tell you about it, because this is the Mel Brooke episode.
We talk about our
anatomy is my anatomy is my legs get hot, my feet get cold, my shoulders get cold, and my belly gets hot. So it's all fucking all over the place. So which is why I wear like boots and socks in the summer. But I always wear shorts because my legs get hot. So in the winter, I don't know what to fucking do.
I wonder if you have something like a syndrome No,
I probably do.
Interesting. I did the 23andMe, right? Did the DNA thing. And you know how every once in a while, I don't know if you've done it, but every once in a while, like a new DNA thing will pop up. Like, oh, you have a new health profile test that we did off of your DNA, right?
Yeah.
So I got one.
Yeah.
And it says that I have a likelihood of this happening. So, it's one of those. One of them was like cholesterol.
Yeah.
One of them's like your LDLs or whatever too, right? That I have a likelihood of that. So we got to try to watch what you're eating. But the other one was Hashimoto disease. Exactly.
What the fuck is that?
It's a hypothyroid thing, and it has to do with your throat, right? And I have all these issues. I have esophagitis. I know, folks, everybody. I know.
I can't believe you just said that
practiced
whole word.
that. I practiced it because I kept
that's
going to the doctor.
I guess when you have the syndrome.
Acronym EOE. We'll just go with that. But it's kind of fun to say it anyway. Okay. It's where you basically, it's like having an allergic reaction. You know how folks have asthma. And so when they have an asthma attack, their lungs are basically attacked with white blood cells. So that's kind of what's happening. Well, that's what happens in your throat. So I found out I had that. Hashimoto's, it kind of has, when I saw that, I was like, oh shit. Like, I wonder if it has something to do with EOE. I saw there was actually a connection. Now my thyroid's fine. So, cause I had my thyroid tested anyway before this. So I think I'm okay, but there is one of the symptoms of Hashimoto's is having an intolerance to cold, which I am pissed. I'm angry. Like I'm going to Coachella tomorrow, and my little concert partner that I always go with, Jade Brooks. Hey Jade, she was like, she's gone with me to things where I've been cold, and I looked at her and I was like, I will leave. Like I will leave this concert right now, outdoor show. Like we went to the reggae festival in Long Beach. She was like, well, let's get you a blanket, bitch. I ain't trying to leave, So So she told me, she was like, girl, you better get you a sweatshirt because we ain't leaving. We're going to Coachella tomorrow and it's about to drop, because it's going to get it'll be 80 during the day, but it's going to be 50 something at night. So I wonder if you've got something where, same like me, where you have this, because I do too. I get angry. Like I get physically, I'm tightened up. I'm upset. Yeah.
Yes. And I mean to everybody, and I hate it. And there actually is when I Googled it, and I was like, I'm angry when it's cold. And it came up.
Me angry when cold.
Me angry when cold. And it came up sad. And I was like, yes,
I am said sad. What is this, caveman Google?
It did. No, it did. It said sad. And it's called seasonal affective disorder or whatever it's called. SAD. It's a fucking actual
hilarious syndrome. Oh, you weren't just saying it was like
I
sad.
know.
No, it's SAD.
No. It was like, how your phone will read it to you? What it says is, so when I said it in my thing, like, why am I'm so angry when it's cold, and I put it in my Google voice, and then she came back and she said sad, and I was like, yes, I am.
And it was like,
sad.
no,
so
bitch,
anyway, SAD, slow down. You have a disorder. But so it's seasonal. It's probably something else, but I'm going to call it seasonal aggression disorder.
Because that's what happens.
Because it's not. But I will tell you what. Can I tell you something about 23andMe? I'm going to tell you what. 23andMe, my sister, so we had it doesn't matter. So my sister did 23andMe and I did 23andMe, and we both have our genetics and we both have our history, right? Our ancestry. And I was really nervous to get it back because I thought it's most likely that I've been lied to my entire life and I'm not even Irish. Okay. And it came back and I'm very, very Irish, which is good because I was like, okay, I knew that I was Irish. So my sister's comes back and hers had a little difference.
It will.
And we were like, what the fuck? Like, my sister's Jewish.
I know. I have Ashkenazi Jew, too.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You do? And my sister and I have always thought, well, no, we know we're sisters. We look alike and all this stuff. But we've always been like, our parents were so kind of fucked up that, we don't really know.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
we don't really know. We're 5 years apart. A lot can happen in 5 years.
you guys came from the same parents, but that doesn't mean that your DNA is identical. Because that's why you look different. That's why you're taller than she is. That's why. So it was interesting when I was deciding whether at first I was going to do Ancestry or 23andMe.
This is making me feel better, by the way, because Sherry and I were both like, what the fuck?
It was interesting. I watched this YouTube, and this gentleman was talking about how he was also like trying to figure it out. So apparently his half of his family, on one side of his family, are Mexican American, and the other is just, your general white European. And he said that his sister always identified with the Mexican side of the family. Like, she identified as Mexican American. She like went to Abuela's house and did the cooking, and like that's how she identifies. And he's just like, nah, I'm here. I'm a mutt, whatever. I'm American. Yeah. So they both did the DNA test, and he has more Mexican DNA than she does. But they're brother and sister. So I think that it just like the reason why my kids don't look alike, right? My kids, I mean, they have resemblances.
They all look like you, though.
Yeah, but they have essences of their dads. No, but you know what I mean. They, as siblings, though, they each one of them have things of Matt and I both, my husband and I. However, they don't. It's not like they're like, oh my God, that's a brother and a brother. Do you know what I mean? They have a lot of different features. Oh
yeah, that's true.
But so that's your DNA. Your DNA is made up of different things. So, it's just interesting.
Well, I was just glad to hear that I wasn't prone to a cleft chin.
You know what? These are important things to find out.
No joke.
Not prone to a cleft chin. Look, if you are in your 40s and you haven't got that cleft chin yet, bitch, I think that you're probably in there.
It's not coming. But like my ancestors, like I don't want any of my family members to have a cleft chin. I have nothing against cleft chins. I have no idea.
She just wants to say cleft chin.
I like to say cleft chin.
Anything else interesting? I found out that I have family, and I have actually a DNA relative, but I have North African DNA, and not like, you're, 100th generation. No, I mean, this is like fifth generation. So,
really?
I don't remember what the percentage, but I mean, I'm basically Irish and British. That's in German. I have some German, but like, so that's like my main. But it was interesting because then one of my DNA relatives is from Algeria. And one of my, so when I finally did do the ancestry one as well, and did like the family tree, and I don't know my dad's side of the family's story too extensively. And, they're a lot darker featured, a little like darker skin and the whole thing. And so we were always told that we had Native American. And that's where I thought all of the dark features came from. And in fact, some of my cousins have done it, and they do have Native American. I just don't have any. And I thought that that's where all my coloring came from and whatever. No, none of it.
Yeah.
So it's on my father's side, the Algerian side. And my grandfather's grandmother, when I did the ancestry tree, she's a lot darker and just looks different than like her husband, who was in the Civil War.
Yeah.
Really interesting. There's like a picture of them, right?
Yeah.
So that fifth generation would have been her father.
Yeah.
So I just wonder if but I don't know that far. Like it wouldn't go that far, like with her parents.
Well, some of it ends, right?
Yeah. So it's just interesting. Like I had no clue that was even.
That's cool.
So I even like looked up like, Algerian women and just what they look like, and just to see, because I know what Irish and British and German women look like.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah. Us. I do have Charlie, our Cro-Magnon came back, like how close you are to Cro-Magnon man, and I have like hardly any, and Charlie has a lot of Cro-Magnon.
That's hilarious.
Which is awesome.
Well, because Charlie is Korean.
But he's directly he's from Asia, and he's first generation here, so I don't know where Cro-Magnon's from. Maybe that's an assumption.
I don't know what Cro-Magnon's from. I remember the name, but I can't remember. I didn't pay attention. You know, I'm a creative. I didn't really pay attention to.
Yeah, you don't have to learn things.
Not those things.
You just have to create things. No, we don't need to. It's fine. That's why we have a podcast to educate people.
That's why we have guests on, so they can educate you. So the fact that you listened to this episode and heard anything that we said,
so fucking
we
fucked.
Appreciate you.
No. And listen, the Mel and Brooke episode is only going to happen periodically because sometimes we just need to catch up. And sometimes we don't have a new podcaster that that we're able to either get on or want on or whatever.
Do you want to know something really
and sometimes you just
weird that just happened? I was sitting here and I've got my headphones on and I'm listening to you talk, and all of a sudden I heard us the minute you said the Mel and Brooke.
Yeah.
My phone all of a sudden started with our podcast, the Steph podcast, and was playing. I heard us talking.
And you haven't been on it at all.
In fact, it wouldn't even have been up.
Okay. No, because you don't ever listen to our episodes.
No, I do. Sometimes. I do sometimes.
Sometimes.
Or I skim through them. But isn't that weird?
Interesting.
Like on my phone. And my phone is like this. And look, it's on there. But it's paused. Like it's
all right. Stay tuned for more of this stuff because I do have to tell you something, Brooke, in private.
In my privates?
But that's not for the episode.
You're gonna
in your
just
private.
Gonna whisper
I'll tell
it
directly into your private.
I might have to go like this,
like a vagina hole, and then I'll go like this right at the top.
3 kids. You might have to.
Oh yeah, I'll go like this. Hello.
It's a good thing my husband's well endowed.
Right? He can fill a space. Welcome to the Mel and Brooke episode. Moms are too.
Got something to tell ya
right now.
Today.
Oh.
And I told him, your new tattoo looks good with your mole.
That's true.